So I will be going through more numerical example to illustrate the basic idea that inequality behave like algebra, but with the only difference when you multiply or divide by negative number on both sides. Okay. So in this example too, the question doesn't say that you need to draw your number line. I will still be drawing the number line for you to see. So for A, it's 11x minus 4x. So you think about 11x minus 4x. That one's like very simple. 11 minus 4 is 7x. And your aim is to get 1x. So to get 1x, you divide by 7 on both sides. So obviously 7 is a positive number. So you do not need to reverse the sign. So we have solved the inequality. So if I need to draw, so I will draw the surrounding number. So follow the idea, draw the surrounding number. You can draw more surrounding number. Just don't give me a -5. Okay, it doesn't show me anything if you just show this. Okay, let me show you the correct one first. So it should be like this. So it's not useful if you just do it this way. If you just do it this way, right, I wouldn't know what are the numbers that are smaller than -5. So if you want to write more numbers, that's fine. It's always okay to write more numbers. Later, you actually need this number line to answer some other question. So don't just give me one number on the number line. Okay, so very obviously, I never show you one number. So please don't do that. Okay. Okay, when it comes to fraction, usually a lot of students will have mind block. So it's not that difficult. So if you got a x/3 minus a x/2, to me, I will look at it as 1/3 x minus half x. 1/3 x minus half x. I can just punch my calculator. So if you punch your calculator, you get a -1/6. Okay, so there's also nothing tricky about this. You still need your 1x. So I will still need the 1x. I will just divide by -1/6. I will just divide by a -1/6 on both sides. Then I will get a 1x. And then I got to reverse the sign. Okay, then you punch calculator. So you will get -7.5. Of course, if you will want to, you can actually multiply by a -6 on both sides. So you can do it this way. You can multiply by a -6 on both sides. You still need to reverse the sign because you're still multiplying, you're still dealing with a negative number. So it's your choice. Do you want to multiply both sides by -6 or you want to divide both sides by -1/6? That's your choice. So how am I going to draw the number line? -7.5. So I'll be drawing like -6, -7, -8, -9. -6, -7, -8, -9. So locate the -7.5. So you want it to be lesser than this number. And there is an equal sign, so it should be on the left side. The number on the left will be smaller than -7.5. So that's how you present it. Okay, so same thing for the next one. you got a fraction. So our calculator, this portion, our calculator, the part 2/5 plus 3/4. So I will get 1 and 3 over 20. So I'll get 1 and 3 over 20x greater than -1. So bearing in mind your focus, we wanted 1x. So I got to divide by the fraction. The fraction is a positive number, so you shouldn't need to change the sign. So you shouldn't need to change the sign. You will get -20 over 23. So how are you going to show an inequality like this? So do a normal number line first. So you locate the basic numbers first. So where is -20 over 23? Somewhere here. And you would like it to be greater. So you are looking for the numbers that's on the right side. Okay, so don't need to be afraid about fraction. Okay, it just behave normally. So like this one, there's a fraction and there's a decimal. So our calculator this part. So in fact, right, okay, so I should calculate the 1 over 5 minus 0.8. So I'll get a negative 0.6x. So it doesn't matter that you got decimal right now. Your aim is still going to get x. And I got to divide by negative 0.6. So you got to reverse the sign. So you need to bear in mind, you got to reverse the sign. So you got this as the answer. So this is quite an easy one to draw. Get the surrounding number first. Okay, you will like it to be bigger or equal than -4. So there should be a black circle. The numbers on the right will be bigger than -4. So if you look, it's not so difficult after all. So you should be aiming for 100% accuracy. So subsequently, yeah. So we're going to do the same thing like algebra. We're going to add numbers on both sides. So I'm going to add 1 on both sides. So adding a positive number shouldn't change. So it won't reverse the sign. And then I'm going to divide by 3 on both sides. So I should get a 4. So draw out the number line. Okay, you like it to be smaller or equal to 4. So please follow exactly. So there's no reason why you couldn't follow exactly because it's actually quite easy. So in this question here, I'm going to subtract 8 on both sides. So a lot of people will stop here. So when you stop here, it is actually wrong. It is not 1x. So in this case, right, negative x is actually negative 1x. So you got to divide by a negative 1. So you got to reverse the sign. So a lot of people will stop at -x, and that would be wrong. And during exam, sometimes you will get asked this kind. So because there will be a handful of students who will just leave it as a -x. So you are always looking for 1x. So draw the number line with the surrounding number. And you want it to be greater than -7. So that is the number on the right side. So they behave like algebra. Only when it comes to when you multiply and divide by a negative number. So here, the next one, 5, there's algebra on both sides. So what you can do can be, you subtract -7x on both sides. So it's okay to subtract 7x on both sides. So when you do that, you get -2x minus 6. And you can add a 6 on both sides. So all these, right, the sign doesn't change. Until right now, you need to divide by a -2. When you need to divide by a -2, then you change. Then if you take a look, I reverse my sign. So draw your number line first. You are interested in the number that is smaller than -5. That means on the left. So if it gets more complex, doesn't matter. You are still doing your algebra. So for this situation, I got to expand the bracket. Okay, it's a very basic instinct that you should expand the bracket. Then bring all the x to one side. So I'm subtracting x on both sides. And then I'm subtracting 6 on both sides. So I'm not multiply. I have no chance to multiply or divide by a negative number. So if you realize, the sign doesn't change. So there is an equal sign, and you will be interested in the number bigger than 3. So you are interested in the number on the right side. So that is how you solve a normal inequality, which is very simple. There's only one logic for you to remember. Otherwise, you should feel that this one behaves a lot like normal algebra.